Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from the beautiful city of Luxembourg City, and welcome to the 2025 edition of the CEV European Cups Champions League draw. Now, as you recall, we just finished a season, an exciting season of 2024 of the Champions League, with the final being held in Italia. And we are excited to resume this action with more than 200 teams participating in the three competitions in both genders. Now, I am really honored and actually really, excited that we are hosting this drawing of lots here in the prestigious Broadcasting Center Europe for the 5th year in a row. And I'm also excited and happy that I get to co-host this drawing of lots with my colleague and my dear friend, Federico Pedrado.
Thank you so much, Norisha, for the nice introduction. I agree with you. It feels yesterday, when we completed the 2024 season and we crowned the kings and queens of European volleyball. But there is no time to rest, and we don't want to rest on our laurels. And it is about time to get the season started for 2025. As you said, the interest, from the clubs across Europe to participate in the European Cups is massive. And we have 204 teams involved, which is a terrific number. And we can't wait for the draw and for the season to get started in September.
That's right. Now, thank you, Federico. Now, this year we have decided to do it a little bit different. So we will split the drawing of lots. We will start with the CEV Champions League drawing of lots, and then we will take a small break and then come back with the live broadcasting, where we will solely focus on the CEV Cup and also the CEV Challenge Cup. Now, Federico, can you please tell us what is?
That's correct, Norisha. We started with the Champions League and we started with the early rounds. I think the fans have become familiar with the early rounds, and this is where up-and-coming teams will be fighting for a coveted ticket to join the European elite of volleyball in the fourth round. But before we go into the draw, I believe we have a special guest to introduce. So it's over to you, Norisha, to introduce this guest and in a nice way.
Yes. Now, before we get started, I would like to introduce our guest of honor for today. Now, she is the true European volleyball queen, and she has competed in the highest level for almost 20 years. And she's accumulated honors and awards and participating with her club and also with her national team. Now, she needs absolutely no introduction, but of course we have a video highlighting some of the most prestigious times in her illustrious career. Let's take a look at this highlight. Now, welcome back to the drawing of lots. As you see, we have here Naz Aydemir Akio here with us. And Naz, we just witnessed some of your really, really great highlights of your career. And what are some of your most proud moments playing and competing in the Champions League?
I have many, and I can't say which one is better than the other one, but the most memorable ones for me is the first Final Four with Eczacıbaşı when I was almost a kid. And then my first trophy with Fenerbahçe, and maybe the most memorable one I can say that the last one with Vakıfbank when I was pregnant to my son. So it was like a double victory.
Yeah.
And I can tell all those as memorable moments.
I have to say that's pretty cool, because you and your son won a title together, and that's only something that a woman can do. I'm just saying. And how? I mean, you competed so many years in this high league. What keeps you motivated to stay and play in such a high competition?
I think when you taste the cup, you don't want to have less. So this keeps me driving for more, and I want to earn as much as I can.
Yeah, and then you will have something to tell your son too.
Yeah, nice memories for him also.
Yeah, I think so too. And I heard that this is going to be your 18th year of competing in the championship. Now, how many people can say that they competed in the Champions League for 18 years? And I'm sure there's been like some ups and some downs. And you know, we talked about this earlier, that people normally, they just see you come out on the court in your jersey and see you standing on the podium with the trophy, but they don't see actually the blood that, you know, that you sweat, the tears, the ups and the lows. Can you please share with the fans, you know, some of these moments that you've endured to get to where you are today?
It's been a long way to come here. As you said, it's been 18. It will be my 18th time that I'll be participating in Champions League. I can tell, as much as I like to see myself on the podium, as athletes we need hitting the bottom moments to rise up again. So the people see us winning and sweating in our jerseys in the court, but behind that we have so long stories to tell, which if I start to tell now, it will take the whole drawing of lots. But we suffer a lot, and it's like tear and blood.
Yeah, yeah. Totally understand. No, thank you for sharing that with me. And I know that these are memories and moments that you're going to remember for the rest of your life, and also that your son is going to remember for the rest of his life. And so, Federico, I think the fans are getting a little bit excited for this competition.
I guess so, yes. It's terrific to have Naz with us today.
Yeah.
We were saying before that we did actually meet in 2008, the beginning of her career. She was playing for the junior national team of Turkey at the time. So she has come a long way, and it's terrific, I mean, to witness all of the successes that she has achieved over the years. So now it's time to go back to the business, let's say, and to the actual draw. We start with the women's competition, and I would like to emphasize that in the early rounds of the Women's Champions League, we skipped the first and the second round. We do have 10 teams involved, and these will be contesting the third round. These will be played as home and away matches. We have seeded 5 teams, as you will be able to see on the charts, according to the latest ranking list for the Champions League women. And we have 5 teams to draw out of this cup with your help, Nourisha. But before we do so, I just wanted to be a little more precise. You will see on the charts that among the seeded teams, we have teams from Poland and Serbia. Actually, they are involved in the early rounds because their national champions didn't register for participation in the Champions League. So those other teams had to be moved to the early rounds according to the regulations. So back to the graphics, we have seeded 5 teams. Those 5 teams will be playing the return matches at home. And those 5 teams that you will be drawing out of this cup, Nourisha, we go from the top to the bottom of the draw, and they will be hosting the first match at their home. So let's get started. So, Nourisha, the team that you have drawn will be playing against Poland's Grot Budowlani Łódź, and there is OK Herceg Nowy of Montenegro. All of the teams, apart from those from Poland and Serbia involved in the third round, are current national champions of their countries. So it's very exciting, and we have also some newcomers that we will be able to see in a moment. Please go ahead. Serbia's Tent Obrenovac is the next seeded team, and whom will they be playing for a spot in the 4th round? And that is Asterix Avo Beveren of Belgium, a team that has been playing in the Champions League for a number of seasons already. The next seeded team is from Romania, and it is CESO Voluntari 2005. And Nourisha, you will define which team they will be playing in the 3rd round with home and away matches at the beginning of October. So playing the team from Romania will be Rabotnitski Skopje of North Macedonia, the national champions of the Balkan country, and newcomers to the Women's Champions League. The next seeded team is the Club Volleyball Gran Canaria of Spain. And we have 2 teams left in this cup. And we will now define who goes to the Canary Islands. But first, the first match will be at their home, and it is FC Porto of Portugal. And it is the first time we have a Portuguese women's team in the Champions League in about 20 years. Last but not least, we have one more seeded team, and it is Croatia's Mladost Zagreb. And we finalize this first draw with your help, Nourisha. and who is going to host Zagreb, and it is Žok Gacko of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And after playing at home, they will travel to Zagreb for the return match. Thank you, Narisha. So this is actually the draw for the third round of the women's competition, and the 5 winners will be proceeding to the 4th rounds and join there the real elite of European volleyball.
Thank you, Federico, for that explanation. And now we move on to the men's early rounds of the drawing of lots. And Nas, this is where we will need your help to do the drawing for the men's.
Yes, just before we go to the first round, the interest is so massive in the Champions League, in the men's competition, that we have had to add one extra round, which is called the preliminary round. It involves 3 teams, the national champions of the 3 lowest ranked federations, namely Cyprus, Latvia and Ukraine. These 3 teams will contest a single round-robin tournament, so they will be playing all against each other at a venue still to be defined. And the top 2 will then progress from the preliminary round to the first round. And the number 3 from this preliminary round will continue their European journey in the CEV Cup, which we will talk about later, as you announced that there will be a break and a second draw later on in the day. So for the first round of the men's competition, we have seeded a number of teams, and 8, according to the latest European ranking list for the Men's Champions League, and we have 8 to draw out of this cup, and we will do this with the help of Naz. So Naz, your turn now to take center stage. Please go ahead. So this team that Naz has drawn will be playing against Austria's Hypo Tirol Innsbruck. And that is Fino Kaposvár of Hungary. Again, all of these teams are national champions of their respective countries, so this accounts certainly for very strong competition and exciting matches as well. We continue with the next seeded team. It's Mladost Zagreb of Croatia. And it is Naz that has drawn the cup. And it is Budva Budva of Montenegro. So there is a derby between the teams from Montenegro and Croatia in the Men's Champions League first round. Next seeded team is Orion Stars Doetinchem of the Netherlands.
Thank you.
And they will be playing Selver Tallinn of Estonia. And just before we continue, I just would like to remind everyone that the seeded teams will be playing the return matches at home, and those teams that Naz is currently drawing will be hosting the first of the 2 matches at their home. Naz, go ahead. Who is going to play Red Star Belgrade of Serbia? That is the team that will finish first in the preliminary round involving, as we said, the national champions of Cyprus, Latvia and Ukraine. Volley Schönenwert of Switzerland is the next seeded team in the men's first round. The seeding has been done according to the latest Champions League ranking. And the second team, the one finishing second in the preliminary round, will be playing against Schönenwert in the first round. 3 balls left and 3 seeded teams left. We have a newcomer from Romania, CSM Corona Brașov, already seeded, waiting to find out which team they will be playing, and it's Oka Radnik Bielina of Bosnia and Herzegovina. The next seeded team represents a club that has a lot of tradition in many sports, not just in volleyball, Olympiakos Piraeus of Greece. And in matches 13 and 14, we will have Strumica of North Macedonia. So Strumica to play Piraeus first at home and then away in Greece. And last but not least, we have the seeded team of Portugal, Sport Lisboa and Benfica.
Thank you.
And they will be playing the sensation from the last season, Guaguas Las Palmas of Spain, a team that last year moved from the first round to the quarterfinals. They were just 1 step away from the semifinals. So that concludes the draw for the first round of the men's competition. The 8 winners will continue to the second round, play home and away matches. and the 4 winners of the second round will move to the third round, where they will also play home and away matches, and 2 teams only then will qualify for the 4th round and join the elite of European volleyball. Let me just remind everyone that those teams failing to progress from the early rounds to the group stage of the Champions League will continue their journey in the CEV Cup, so there is one more chance for them to achieve European success.
Thank you for the explanation, Federico. Thank you for the drawing. And I can sense the anticipation in this room and also from our fans who are watching as we proceed now to the 4th round for the drawings of the Champions League. But before we do have some highlights, highlighting some exciting moments from the 2024 season for the Women's Champions League, where we had the team
of Conegliano that won their 2nd title in the Champions League, and I think it was very special to them because the previous time they had won the Champions League, due to the pandemic, we had to play the superfinals behind closed doors. So I believe they did enjoy the experience of playing in front of a full house in Antalya, and that's certainly something to remember for a lifetime.
I think so too. It's always different when there's a full crowd in the gym, or
absolutely,
yeah.
Yes.
So let's take a look at these exciting highlights.
Every match, a new story. Every set, a new battle. Power and determination to be the best among the best. There is only one crown for the champion above all champions.
So welcome back to the Broadcasting Center of Europe, where we are now about to begin the drawing of lots for the CEV Women's Champions League. Now, Naz, this time today, you get to experience the drawing of lots here from the stage. Now, how did you do it before? Did you watch it from home?
Sometimes I watch it from home, and sometimes a friend or someone from the club informed us about the groups. But I was more excited about the next rounds, which you did in the previous seasons, that you would know your way to go to Final Four. So that was more exciting for me.
And now, when they told you who you were gonna play against or who was in your pool, did you ever get nervous or excited, or?
It's not about getting nervous. I'm always excited to compete. So there is curiosity, of course, and after it's a little bit relief that you know against who you will face.
Yeah, yeah. I remember those days. So Naz and Federico, before we move on, we do have a video. It's an explanatory video that's going to explain the procedures that we should follow. So let's take a look at that video.
The 4th round of the CEV Champions League Volley 2025 will feature 20 teams per gender, competing in 5 pools of 4 teams, each using the double round-robin system. 18 men's and 15 women's teams are directly seeded to the 4th round, based on the relevant CEV Champions League ranking, while the remaining spots will be awarded to the teams making it through the early rounds that will be starting in September 2024. The participating teams are divided into 4 cups, according to the latest CEV Champions League ranking list, starting with the seeded teams, followed by the teams progressing through the early rounds. For both the men's and women's draws, we will start from the top and work from left to right as the teams are drawn, meaning that first, all of the teams from Cup 1 are drawn and placed from left to right in the first row of each pool. Next, the teams from Cup 2 are drawn into row 2. Then those in Cup 3 into row 3, and lastly, those in Cup 4 into the bottom row. 2 teams from the same country cannot be drawn into the same pool. Therefore, if the nationality of a drawn team matches with that of one of the teams already positioned in that pool, then the team drawn is placed into the next available pool to the right. If it is the last pool where there is a clash, then the last two teams, where there is no clash, are switched with each other. Matches will be played from Tuesday to Thursday over 6 rounds during the group phase. The 5 pool winners will progress straight to the quarter-finals, while the 5 runners-up and the team finishing third with the best result across all the pools will contest an additional playoff round. The 3 winners from the playoffs will join the 5 pool winners in the quarter-finals. The 4 winners from the quarter-finals will progress to the Final 4 tournament, where they will contest singles semi-final matches, followed by a title-deciding match, crowning the CEV Champions League winners for 2025.
So, Nas and Federico, I think after that explanation video, I think we are ready to go. We're good to go.
Yes, very much so, Nourisha. It should be clear, what we're going to do, but I will try to guide you through the process and to provide as much information as possible.
As you do best.
Thank you. So we start with the cup number 1, which includes the cream of the crop in European volleyball. These are the top teams from the highest ranked national federations according to the latest Champions League ranking list. And as we got to see during the video, while the video was played, we will draw them from left to right, and they will take the top row in each pool. So, Nourisha, it is your turn to draw again.
Okay.
So please go ahead. So the first team that you will be drawing out of this cup will be taking the top spot and the first row in Pool A.
So the fate of these teams lie in my hands? Or
That is very true.
do I need to sign a waiver? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, here we go.
So to get started, we have the defending champions, Carraro Imoco Conegliano of Italy. As we just recalled and we got to see in the video, they won the title in Antalya only a few weeks ago.
And I'm sure they are coming back with hunger to repeat.
Judging by the roster that they have assembled, I think this is very much the case. So the next team that you will be drawing, Nourisha, goes into Pool B. And that is Eczacıbaşı Dynavit Istanbul of Turkey, winners of the Champions League in 2015, and the team that Naz currently plays for. Yes. We continue now with the next draw. Three top teams left in this draw, cup number 1, and we have Volley Milano of Italy. They just won the silver medal in Antalya, lost the superfinal to Conegliano. 2 teams left, Nourisha. We move on to Pool D. And it is Fenerbahce Medicana Istanbul of Turkey. And as Naz recalled, they did win their only title to this day in 2012, and Naz was very much part of that team and played a leading role in Baku. Last but not least, Nourisha, we finalized Cup 1, and we do so with the last team from the Cup number 1, and it is Savino del Bene Scandicci of Italy. So the team from Tuscany takes the top spot in Pool E. We move on now to Cup number 2. Another 5 teams to draw from left to right, and we have to make sure, as it was said in the video, that 2 teams from the same country are not drawn into the same pool. Let's get started with cup number 2, Nourisha.
Oh, feels like somebody used super glue on this
It
ball.
doesn't want to.
Oh my God. Oh, got it, I got it.
It doesn't want to open, but you made
I
it.
didn't want it. Let's see it.
So it is Developres Rzeszów of Poland that joins Conegliano in Pool A. Thank you, Nourisha. Let's continue now with the next team. Eczacıbaşı is waiting to find out which team will be joining them in Pool B. And it is Vakifbank Istanbul, but because of the rule that I just mentioned, that we cannot have 2 teams from the same country in the same pool, we move them to the next available slot, so into Pool C together with Milano. Vakif Bank, all-time record winners with 6 titles to their name.
Wow.
So the next team will then go into Pool B and join Ejachibashi. Let's see. Nourisha Naz. And that's Levallois Paris Saint-Cloud. The French national champions crowned some weeks ago join Ejachibashi in Pool B. We have 2 teams left. Nourisha, please go ahead. Let's see who is going to join Fenerbahce in Pool D. And that is the second French team, Neptune Nantes. They played the final of the Challenge Cup in 2024, and this season they will be playing in the Champions League. Let's see how they are going to perform. And last but not least, joining Scandicci in Pool E. So the team from Tuscany is joined by PKS Bielsko-Biała of Poland, a team that is returning to the Champions League stage after a break of many years. Thank you, Nourisha. It's time for Cup number 3. As I said, when we got started with the draw, the teams have been grouped according to the latest European ranking list in the Champions League Women. And we have now 5 teams to draw out of this cup. Please, Nourisha, go ahead. So, Conegliano and Rzeszów are already set and due to play matches in Pool A. And they are joined by Bulgaria's national champions Maritsa Plovdiv. Next, we'll be joining Ejachibashi and Levallois Paris in Pool B. That was a quick one, Nourisha, very nice. So, and that is SSC Palmberg-Schwerin of Germany. That's a volleyball stronghold in Germany. Their club did achieve success on the European stage even back in the 70s.
Yes, a lot of history there.
Joining this group of death with Milano and Vakif Bank, if we can call it this way. So this is Pool C slowly but surely taking shape. And that is Calcit Kamnik of Slovenia. The national champions of Slovenia will be playing Verovoli Milano and Vakif Bank. 2 teams left for Cup 3. And the one that Nourisha is now drawing will join Fenerbahce and Nantes in Pool D. And these are the Hungarian national champions of Vasas Obuda Budapest. We are about to complete the draw for Cup number 3. There is this 1 team left, Nourisha, which goes into Pool E together with Scandicci and Bielsko-Biała. And this is Germany's Allianz MTV Stuttgart, national champions of Germany. They have reached the quarterfinals a few times already. Thank you, Nourisha.
Thank you.
We are almost done, but still we have Cup number 4 with 5 teams, and these are the winners of the 3rd round matches that we did speak about just a little while ago.
Yeah.
So we will have to complete the 3rd round before we get to know which team completes the various pools, but the draw has to be performed today, so at least we know which pairings goes into which pool.
All right, last one, here we go.
Let's see how things pan out. And it is the winner of matches 9 and 10 joining Pool A with Conegliano, Rzeszów and Plovdiv. After the draw, all of the charts will be available on the CEV website, so it is easier for the fans and the media to understand who is who. Okay, let's continue with Pool B. We have Ejachibashi, Levallois Paris and Schwerin already drawn into this group. And who is next? That is the winner of matches 3 and 4 in the 3rd round. Thank you, Nourisha. Let's complete now Pool C. We have Verovoli Milano, Vakif Bank and Calcit Kamnik of Slovenia. Who is next? That is the winner of matches 7 and 8. And now, before we continue, Norisha, I would like just to emphasize that in the third round, we do have a Polish team, Grot Budowlany Łódź, and they are involved in matches 1 and 2, which are yet to be drawn out of this cup. And because we have a Polish team in Pool E, the winner of matches 1 and 2 cannot go into Pool E, as there is the potential for another Polish team to make it there. So let's see, how things pan out, but we have to make sure that this clash is avoided.
Okay.
This potential clash. That is the winner of matches 1 and 2, which involve, Grot Budowlany Łódź, and they're going to Pool D, so all is good, all is safe.
Good.
Thank you. So let's complete the draw for pool number E, where we have Skandici, Bielsko-Biała, and Stuttgart. And these will be the winner of matches 5 and 6 in the third round. Thank you, Norisha. Well, this sets the tone for an exciting group stage of the Women's Champions League. I would just like to remind, we did see these on the video clip, but I think it's good to repeat these again. The 5 pool winners will be advancing to the quarterfinals directly. Those finishing second in each pool, plus the team finishing third, but with the best score across all pools, will be contesting the playoff round. The 3 winners of the playoffs will move on to the quarterfinals, joining the pool winners. And we have some surprise, in store, because people are familiar with the superfinals, which were introduced in 2019. But we go back to the Final Four tournament, due to changes to the international calendar. And so after the quarterfinals, there will be a Final Four tournament split, women at the beginning of May and the men in mid-May, with the top 4 teams in Europe playing single semi-finals, followed on the final day by a title deciding match. So there is not going to be a match for the third place.
That's good. That's good. Thank you for the explanation. I could not have done it better myself, Federico.
You're welcome, Norisha.
Okay, now that concludes the drawing of lots for the 4th round for the Women's Champions League, but we will continue. But that means that the competition will begin early in the fall, and that means that the teams will play each time 3 times at home and 3 times on the road.
That is correct. That's what the pool stage looks like.
Yes, so Federico.
Well, we are good now to move to the men's competition.
That's right. Yes, and so Naz, now that we have you here, what is your opinion from the results of the women's draw that we just finished?
I think all groups are hard because every team will want to achieve the first spot to secure a place in quarterfinal. As a club also, this will be our main target in the pool. And to become the first best in the group and on the paper to catch up with the weakest team on the paper, it will be a good advantage, but I think the groups are pretty okay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to play and watch all the other games.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, what can you expect the fans? What do you think the fans will expect in these competitions based on the pools that you've just seen?
I think group phases pretty nice to watch, but after the group phases are the tougher games and the more thrilling games. So every game is important, every point, every set is important in the groups to qualify for the next round. But for me, the next rounds are much better to watch.
Yeah, fun, right? Exciting, and yeah. Thank you.
There's elimination, that's why.
Yeah, that's true, right?
It's make or break, Norisha, right? It's make
Do or
break.
die. It's
Yeah.
do or die. Thank you very much,
welcome.
Naz. Now it is time that we move on to the drawing of lots, the 4th round for the men's. But before we do have some highlights that are highlighting some of the exciting moments from 2024. And in this video, we see the team that was actually crowned
We celebrate
champions.
Trentino, yes, the Italians who won the Champions League for the first time since 2011. They were the first ones to win the title 3 years in a row. Then they had some setbacks and some drama in finals that they lost, but they crowned themselves champions in Antalya. Unfortunately, they will not be playing Champions League this season. I mean, the National League is so competitive that they couldn't finish among the top 3. But I think it's good to celebrate their achievement and to review some of the best moments of the past season and the superfinals in Turkey.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the highlights from this video.
Legends are not born. They are self-made. In the competition of champions. The best will rise to the top.
So, welcome back to the Broadcasting Center of Europe, where we will proceed with the drawing of lots, and we will now draw and begin to draw for the fourth round of the Men's CEV Champions League. And we have our star guest who is still here with us, and she will help assist us with the drawing of the balls. And Federico, could you please assist us and guide us through this process?
I will happily
again?
do so. Again, we do follow the same rules and principles as with the women's competition. This time it's Naz that is performing the draw. She's not involved in any way, so she feels at ease. She feels at ease. I mean, this time to be the one performing the draw.
No backlash.
And we start with the top teams, the cream of the crop, as we called it before in men's European volleyball, the top teams of the highest ranked national federations, and these will be drawn across the pools and take the top spot in each group. Naz, it's now your turn.
Their fate lies in your hands.
Let's say it.
So we start with the team that will be going into Pool A. And that is the German champions, Berlin Recycling Volleys. So they take the top spot in Pool A.
The German teams are representing this year.
Yes, there are as many as 3 in the men's competition. Now, the one team that you will be drawing out of this cup will go into Pool B and take in the top spot there, and that is Volley Monza of Italy. This is their debut in the Men's Champions League. They must be excited to do so. In Pool C, now let's see who is going to take the top row. That is the team from Poland, Aluron CMC Warta Zawiercie. It's not their first season in the Champions League, but they had a very successful season in the Polish National League. So we are curious to see how they will be performing in the top league in Europe. Now, Pool D. We have 2 teams left in Cup 1. Let's see who takes the top spot in Pool D. And this is Cirsi Coma Monini Perugia of Italy. So the Italian national champions, yet to win the Champions League. So they will definitely be hunting this elusive gold medal in 2025. Now we finalize Cup 1 with the last team.
Thank you.
And it's Jaszewski Wegiel of Poland, silver medal winners this past season when they lost to Trentino in Antalya, and they take the top spot in Pool E. I'm sure they are motivated to go for this elusive gold medal as well. We now continue with Cup 2, and as we said before with the women's draw, we have to pay extra attention to make sure that 2 teams from the same country are not drawn into the same pool. So Naz, go ahead. We have the Berlin Recycling Volleys at the top of Pool A, and we have Projekt Warszawa of Poland, so it's all good. The team that won the Challenge Cup in 2024 joined the Berlin Recycling Volleys in Pool A. We have Volley Monza of Italy waiting to find out the name of their next opponent, and that's Helios Grizzlies Gießen of Germany making their Champions League debut. First time they play the most prestigious competition in club volleyball. Naz? So we have Allianz Milano, another team that is celebrating their debut in the Champions League. They join Zawiercie in Pool C. Let's continue with Pool D and E. So Halkbank Ankara of Turkey is joining Perugia in Pool D. And last but not least, to finalize cup number 2. That's another German team, SVG Lüneburg. They joined Jaszewski in Pool E. They had a pretty good run last season in what was their first Champions League participation, so I'm sure that they will be going for more success as soon as matches get underway.
Get on the road.
So now we have Cup 3 and another 5 teams to draw from left to right. Naz, please go ahead. Joining the Berlin Recycling Volleys of Germany and Projekt Warszawa of Poland in Pool A. That's Grignard Mazeic of Belgium, a club that has been involved in the Champions League since the introduction of this competition more than 20 years ago.
A lot of history.
Yeah. Naz, joining Volley Monza and Gießen in Pool B. That is Fenerbahce Medicana Istanbul of Turkey. We continue with Pool C, where we already have Zawiercie and Milano. And it's the second team from Belgium, Knack Roeselare, joining Pool C, another team that has played in the Champions League for many, many years. 2 teams left, actually two from France, and let's see who goes into Pool D and which one goes into Pool E. Naz has just drawn the ball, and it's Saint-Nazaire VB Atlantique that joins Perugia and Ankara in Pool D. That's taking shape slowly, but it seems to be a very competitive group. We finalized Cup number 3. We have the silver medal winners from 2024, Jaszewski Wegiel and Germany's SVG Lüneburg, joined by Chaumont VB 52 of France, a team that has reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League before. We are almost done, but not without Cup number 4, where we have 3 teams whose names are already known, and 2 teams which names will be determined after completion of the early rounds. But I mean, we have to complete the draw today, and looking back, then fans and media will be able to sort of try to predict who is going to make it, through these early rounds and join one of the pools in the 4th round. Naz, please go ahead. We finalized Pool A to begin with.
Naz, you're doing a fantastic
Thank
job.
you.
And it is Slovenia's national champions ACH Volley Ljubljana that completes Pool A together with Berlin, Warsaw and Mazeic. The next team will complete Pool B. Monza, Gießen and Fenerbahce are already in there and are joined by the winner of 3rd round matches 27-28. So they will have to wait a few weeks to know which other team will be completing their pool. Pool C, we have Zawiercie, Milano and Roeselare.
Thank you.
And again, somebody coming from the early rounds, and the winner of matches 25 and 26 will complete Pool C once those early rounds are played. We finalized the draw, 2 teams left, one from Bulgaria and the other one from Czechia. Joining Perugia, Halkbank and Saint-Nazaire in Pool D is Jihostroj České Budějovice of Czechia. The Czech national champions complete Pool D. And last but not least, Naz, and then
For me, the last.
the job is
Last
done
one.
and nicely done.
Drum roll, please.
So joining Jaszewski, SVG Lüneburg and Chaumont is Levski Sofia of Bulgaria, the newly crowned Bulgarian national champions, a club that has a lot of history and tradition from the early days of the European Cups. That concludes the draw for the 4th round of the Men's Champions League. I will just repeat as with the women. In this stage of the competition, all teams will be playing 3 matches at home and 3 away from home. The pool winners will all advance directly to the quarterfinals. Those finishing second and the 1 third-place team with the best score will contest the playoff rounds. And after the quarterfinals, as we said for the women's competition, there will be a Final 4 tournament, 17th to 18th of May. That's the date that people should already mark on their agenda. And this is where we will be crowning the new kings of European volleyball.
Thank you very much. So May, that sounds so far away, but the time goes by so fast.
Yes,
we'll be here
yes,
before we
yes.
know it. In the
We
blink
will
of an
get
eye.
there even without realizing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And we hope to see you there.
Hopefully.
So, yeah. So thank you very much, Federico,
You are
for
most
guiding us
welcome.
through that drawing
Yeah.
of lots. And Naz, I know now that we still have you here, I want to get some more information out of you. What is your opinion? What is your thoughts when it comes to the Champions League in general? What's your feeling?
I think the best teams of the world are competing in this league, so this makes Champions League unique. And to win Champions League is a privilege. Of course, competing is something else, but
Yeah.
winning it, it feels like you are at the top of the world.
Yeah.
Of course, there is World Club Championship, but it's a one-week tournament. This is a whole league, and you spend like 9-10 months to win it. So it's really nice to be a part of the Champions League, and for the fans, I think it's really entertaining to see the best athletes from all over the world and the best teams competing against each other to win the trophy.
That's right.
And
That's
as we were talking behind the scenes and discussing the reintroduction of the Final Four tournament, which is something that seems to be pleasing you. Is that right?
Yeah, I like Final Fours because I have 10 times in a row Final Four attendance, and after I gave a break, the system has changed and we didn't have any more Final Four at the end. So I'm really happy, and I hope I can still be a part of it at the end of the season.
Now, with your expertise, because you've been in the league for a long time, what do you think makes it so special to compete in the Champions League?
Like, as I mentioned before, the best teams of the world are competing in this league, and you can never know the results.
That's right.
So it's, as an athlete also, it's really, it's a privilege for me to compete in the Champions League, as I told before. So to be a part of the best league of the world is something else. As an athlete, I can tell this.
That is true. Naz, it's been such a pleasure to have you
It's
here.
my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. We are really, really honored to have you here and just to hear your expertise. And one hears that you have so much experience, you know, from your answers. And thank you. We wish you all the best as a player in the competition, and we wish you all the best with your team too in the competition. And we hope to see you compete many, many more years, and maybe, you know, have another, break another record.
Let's see.
You might
Fingers
be
crossed.
seriously. You might get
have,
this.
but I'm not playing for the records.
Yeah,
my
for
main
your
target is
heart.
to win this cup in 4th of May. But let's see.
Yeah, but I think you might break the record.
All the best.
More than 18.
Thank you.
All the best. And as I mentioned earlier today, that after we complete the drawing of lots for the CEV champions, we will now take a break, and we will come back at 1 p.m. where we will continue with the drawing of lots for the CEV Cup and also for the Challenge Cup. So we'll see you in a bit.